From the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Badly been shot. Somebody shot somebody.
A family-friendly mall turned into a murder scene. Two cousins shot, one of them killed. They search for the gunman. Right now, police are on the hunt for the gunman who killed a man and shot his cousin at Horton Plaza. Good evening, I'm Vanessa Van Hefty. 10 News military reporter Hannah Mullins spoke to a veteran about all the chaos right outside of a comedy club. Hannah.
George was right down here when a stranger shot a man in the neck and chest area. It happened right up there on the 7th floor.
I just heard it, but I know that somebody died.
George was once a professional killer, but he can't shake what happened at Horton Plaza.
5 years, 4 months, 27 days.
That's how long he slept on the ground as a POW.
Oh, Vietnam is hell. You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
After his release, he couldn't sleep on a bed, so he's been on the streets. He was below the comedy club when bullets drew bloodshed.
It's kind of hard to tell you, but that first few seconds, I almost felt like I needed to look for my M16. Because it just brought something back so bad.
First responders rushed in.
All of a sudden, man, there was police cars, there was ambulances and fire trucks too, and motorcycle cops.
Police say two men confronted two cousins on the 7th floor just before midnight. They say the gunman shot one in the leg and filled the other's chest with bullets.
And they had this whole block surrounded.
The fear was familiar, but here he left it to cops and hurried off with his cane.
I go to the park and listen to rock and roll, and when they have the little concerts and things going on. You know what, this is supposed to be a safe haven.
Death wasn't supposed to strike so close on home soil. And while cops work to lock the shooter up, George knows too well the personal prison that can capture a killer.
I've got a medal for killing 184 people in one day. I'm not proud of that. Nope. Not proud at all.
Police say they're looking for two black men, one in a red shirt, the other a gray outfit. We're live in Horton Plaza. Hannah Mullins, 10 News.
Accusations of sabotage are flying between supporters of Soccer City and a former San Diego city manager. Soccer City proposed a plan to build a soccer arena at Qualcomm Stadium where SDSU would also play football. It would also leave room for another NFL team possibly in the future. 10 News reporter Bree Stefan live at the stadium with the letter that set this whole thing off. Bree.
That's right, Vanessa, and here it is, and I have circled the name of the man that Soccer City says is trying to ruin their project, Jack McGrory. This letter was sent to the NFL from Manchester Financial Group, and it basically lays out another plan to rebuild the queue here and bring back NFL teams. Soccer City calls it a conflict of interest that Jack McGrory's name is on here because he's also representing San Diego State University as they tried to decide if they wanted to support Soccer City. Both McGrory and SDSU says it was a mistake that his name was mentioned in the letter, and there is no conflict of interest, but Soccer City says the damage is done.
The real losers in all this is rather than converting that massive civic liability behind me into a civic asset, we're running the risk of losing out on soccer and losing the ability to convert this into a great civic treasure.
And in the next few days, City Council will decide whether to approve or shoot down Soccer City's plan or to call a special election and let the voters decide. Reporting live at Qualcomm Stadium, Bree Stefan, 10 News.
Much more on that. Thank you, Bree. Happening today, people rallying for the rights of LGBT people here in San Diego. The Equality March, San Diego, kicked off about 10 this morning. More than 5,000 supporters gathered there in Balboa Park. A good showing. They marched carrying signs and flags to the San Diego County Administration Building. Their message, equal rights for everyone.
It's really honestly unfair that after all this time we've been fighting for the same thing, and that certain states have some rights and we don't all have equal rights for everybody.
That march hosted by the San Diego LGBT Community Center and San Diego Pride. Other marches also happening across the country today. In Washington, D.C., protesters marched in the Equality March for Unity and Pride. Demonstrators also holding signs there and carrying a massive pride flag through the streets of D.C. In West Hollywood, a similar scene. Tens of thousands of people participated in the Resist March. The event included a tribute to the one-year anniversary of the Orlando massacre. The Chelsea's Light Foundation is helping 12 deserving high school students pay for their college education. More than 250 teens from 50 high schools all across the county applied for the Sunflower Scholarship Fund. That scholarship set up by Chelsea King's parents. The Poway High School senior was kidnapped and murdered in 2009. Her body found near Lake Hodges. The ceremony was held for the scholarship recipients at the Del Mar Marriott.
Our scholarship is not based on GPA, and it's not based on need. It's based on that kid's heart and how much they want to give back to the community, however they define that community. And these kids are spot on giving back to the community.
Good to see them smile. John Stewart is one of the scholarship recipients. He's attending UC Berkeley in the fall. Happening tomorrow, the one-year anniversary of the Pulse nightclub shooting. People in Orlando will hold a ceremony to remember all 49 of those victims. Hours of body cam footage recently released shows the chaos and carnage of that horrible night. During the nearly 3-hour standoff, the gunman, Omar Mateen, called police.
I want to let you know I'm in Orlando, and I did the shooting.
Okay. What's your name?
I pledge my allegiance to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi Hafidullah on behalf of the Islamic State.
It's like every day it's like it just happened. I can't even believe it's been a year.
It went down as the worst mass shooting in America's history. New photos, meantime, are out of the fake suicide belts worn by the 3 terrorists during last week's London Bridge attack. Investigators who released the photos say those belts that you see there on your screen were made from plastic water bottles wrapped in duct tape. They were intended to create maximum fear. On June 3rd, the 3 attackers mowed down pedestrians on London Bridge, then went on a stabbing spree in a nearby market using those pink ceramic knives, likely intended to avoid metal detectors. They killed 8 people before being shot and killed by police. New information on those 2 wildfires burning in southeastern Arizona right now. The Lizard Fire and Dragon Fire have now merged into one massive fire, burning nearly 15,000 acres. And firefighters at this point have only made a small dent. It's only about 5% contained tonight. The fire is burning near the Coronado National Forest. That area, if you know it, is very steep, very rugged, and could be very dangerous for fire crews. So they are being challenged right now. They say there is a church campground and buildings in that area that are also at risk, and there are power lines being threatened. So people who live nearby may also lose power at some point tonight. Lightning strikes started that blaze. And taking a live look outside, yes, a little chilly out there. 10 News Pinpoint weather anchor Jennifer De La Cruz tracking all those conditions. Yeah, it hasn't been a good beach day in a long, long time.
I know, but the good news is that's changing. We do have sunshine on the way. I promise it's coming. We just got to hold off a little bit more. Taking you live outside right now to Del Mar. If you're heading to the fair, it's going to be a really nice night. Those clouds are going to continue to build. It's going to be a little bit chilly. We also are tracking a chance for some drizzle. Hour by hour in Del Mar, we'll be at 61 degrees by 8 o'clock tonight. We're going to keep it in the low 60s overnight as those clouds continue to build. So if you are heading out there, be sure to bring a jacket or even an umbrella because we are expecting some drizzle and showers. 65 degrees is your temperature right now in San Diego, 66 in El Cajon, 63 in Kearney Mesa, and 64 in Poway. We're slightly cooler for the most part than where we were at this time yesterday. We have one more mild day ahead of us, and then we have more sunshine and warmer temperatures on the way. I'm tracking all of that coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, Jennifer, a record number of people crossed the finish line at a 5K run to help fight diabetes today, but the organizers didn't ask for donations. 10 News reporter John Horn explains why they instead hope it pays off in a way that money can't.
When it comes to exercise, running a 5K isn't exactly Kayla Adams' top choice.
I do some hiking. I go to the gym a lot to just like all around and just lots of hikes because Colorado is so beautiful.
But she made a special trip to San Diego because of who she'd be running next to.
I'm here because my aunt has type 1.
Her Aunt Lauren has type 1 diabetes, but is now a sponsored athlete.
My aunt is such an inspiration for me. She's had type 1 since she was a kid.
There they go. They're off to run. So they ran what's called the 5K at ADA side by side with 1,400 others. The run or walk is part of the American Diabetes Association's annual conference held this year in San Diego. The run wasn't just for the doctors and educators over at the convention. They also wanted the general public to come, so it was free, promote that healthy lifestyle, and stop diabetes. And it hopes to inspire people to do it on their own, like Edna Rodriguez, who heard about the event online and woke up early to be there. What got you into running, into walking? What inspired you to be in that healthy lifestyle?
I like suffering. No, I just like to stay active and feel young.
And that, along with a healthy diet, can help lower the risk of type 2 diabetes, which the CDC estimates about 27 million Americans have. Adams, who helped spread the message in San Diego, says her aunt is proving that nothing's impossible.
She just does all these great things, and it's incredible what you can do. Type 1 doesn't limit you, type 2 doesn't limit you. You can do anything still.
Well beyond crossing the finish line. John Horn, 10 News.
The CDC says 1 in 4 people with diabetes don't know they even have it. In addition to losing weight and eating healthy, quitting smoking is one more way to lower the risk of developing the disease. 10 News this morning wants you to experience a summer of thrills at Disneyland Park starting tomorrow. 10 News is giving away a family 4-pack of one-day, one-park tickets. Be sure to tune in. Again, that starts tomorrow morning. President Trump locked in a he said with the former FBI director. His latest Twitter attacks as Washington prepares for a major week in the Russia investigation. And a fiery explosion takes out 2 entire city blocks. What fire investigators think may have started this.